New Babylon falls to a tank, the marshals and the police. Everyone goes to jail. I don't go to jail because I'm in Canada. I get back from Canada, everyone's in jail. So then I get a text that says, prison, hurry, be ready. I pull up, they're breaking out of prison. So I pull up and get some people in my car and everyone's fleeing. It's crazy. Everyone's running back and forth. They're running around. They're getting out of the prison. It's a shit show. Somehow, almost every single person gets out of the prison. Now, everybody's wanted for treason because that's what they gave people from Babylon. That's when the resistance starts. So then we decide to start killing and blowing up the police and the marshals. So, you know, we got these radio broadcasts that like Queenie and Nancy work on. And then we got we do a lot of like hits on what did we blow up? City Hall.
I saw that, yeah.
The observatory. Honestly, like gas stations. We blew up a lot of shit. A lot of shit.
Is that all you guys? Because I felt like I would come into town every now and then and I would just go somewhere and be like, oh, let me get a new ID. Nope, blown up.
During the resistance, that was, we blew up a lot. Like pretty much every day we were blowing shit up. So gradually people kept getting caught for that and they were in prison. And while they were in prison, they started like a little coalition in prison that
I heard about that. Cleveland?
They called Cleveland, yeah. So the premise of it was to continue on this resistance that was anti-martial, anti-police in the prison led by Sab. Now, myself and a bunch of others, we didn't get caught for a long while, so they had some time in there to grow closer and like build up this Cleveland thing. Finally, we had like this last stand where we blew up the power plant, and we put like a hit list on a bunch of marshals and cops, and we're just driving around, basically the purge. Like we were just shooting anyone we saw, cops and marshals. And we got gunned down and got put in prison. I run into prison, and they go, "Welcome to Cleveland." I'm like, wow, this is sick, guys. And everyone was there. And I remember thinking, you know what? Even though we were on the run for so long, I'm happy that we're at least together again. And then I got transferred to Canada for a week, a Canadian prison. I get back and shit is weird. Shit is weird in Cleveland. I get back and a select few people is like Skip, Queenie, Bjorn. Yeah, Bjorn. AC, I think. Just a couple people were like getting mistreated by the rest of the people in Cleveland. Like they were getting locked in cells like they were prisoners, and the other Cleveland people were DOC. And everyone in Cleveland was running around in like these uniforms and calling Andy the president.
Yeah, that was when I came around at one point. And I spoke to only Bjorn. I think that was before they locked him in a cell. They locked him in a cell one time. So I came down to see what was going on. And he told me like, because they didn't want to join, they were like locking him and others up, making him do labor. He couldn't be in certain areas. And then he told me that they got help from the faceless or something, like supplies maybe. And they were trying to like ask me to join. I said, fuck no. And I just stayed out of it because I didn't want any of that shit.
Yeah. So what I heard happened while I was in Canada is everybody in Cleveland, Sab and them like made a decision to work with the faceless in order to fight the police and like take over the city, or not the city, the prison for themselves. And obviously people like Skipper, myself, Queenie, and Bjorn, who were there early on in, well, I don't know about Bjorn, but He just has a brain, I guess. People that were there early on in Babylon and remember the Faceless trying to kill us all the time and sniper rifle us and, destroy the city around us. They're like, what the fuck? We're not working with the Faceless. Everybody else said, yes, we are. So I guess
Weird.
they decided if you're not gonna work with the Faceless, like you have to choose now. Either you're with us and you work with the Faceless or you're against us. So yeah.
Enough to lock you guys in cells and shit.
So I get back, right? And I'm hearing this and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys on? Like, you're telling me we just went from a resistance fighting hand in hand, blowing shit up, like nearly dying every day to fight the marshals, to fight this like corrupt system of government. And then you guys became what you hated and started mistreating each other, locking each other in cells, like literally shooting each other for no reason. All this,
You ever seen the Stanford?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. No,
Okay.
that was
Yeah.
100% what it was.
Yep.
Like 100% what it was. And I brought that up. I said, guys, like, how have I been gone for a week and I come back to the Stanford prison experiment? Like, that is what you guys are doing. It's crazy. And so I met with Andy, who was referenced as the president. And I said, Andy, look, I'm not making a decision on what side I want to be on right now because I don't think there should be sides. My concern here is how we are treating our own people. Like, I don't know why you guys think it's okay to be locking them in cells, torturing them, waterboarding them.
Wait, they waterboarded them?
They tried. Speedy tried to waterboard Queenie. Speedy also went to torture me. Tried to
for what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, just anything valid or just
no,
shit?
Nothing valid. I just got there.
Yeah.
So I brought this up
cooked.
to Andy, and Andy said, "Oh, that should not be happening at all. Like, that's not what we want. You tell me if any of that happens." Yeah, I mean, the next day, Sab planted a bunch of bombs outside of the prison and then made everybody that wasn't in Cleveland, all the prisoners of Cleveland, walk into the mines.
What?
Yeah. So that was, at this point,
Okay.
Lang showed up. So Lang, myself, Queenie was sobbing as Luciano put a gun to the back of her head and told her she had to walk into the mine. And I'm standing there like, what the fuck is going on? And
So-
Andy was perfectly happy with that. Not a peep out of her.
Yeah. No, she was usually the type to sit around and go, "Oh, that's so crazy. We'll do something about that," and then that's it. End of story.
Yeah.
So my question is, how are people still friendly with each other, or are people still friendly with each other? Like, because I've seen some. I'm trying to think because I've only heard tiny bits and pieces, but some people are still working with each other who have done crazy shit to each other.
So we'll get to that. So
Okay.
time goes on. Shit's bad. We walk into mines. We all blow up. I end up in the ICU for a while. Queenie's even worse off in the ICU. I wake up to still being in this weird ass fucking prison ICU with the Cleveland people running it. First thing I hear is they had some sort of trial or something and they cut Lang's hand off and everyone voted on it.
What?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
they cut Lang's hand off. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Also, the Faceless, I guess, after blowing us up, somebody called the Faceless for help with medical? Or
No.
So
Wait, did they touch any of you?
Doctor showed up, and from what I've heard, Lang walked into the room, went, "Where's the Faceless doctor?" And they went, "Right there." And then he shot her in the head.
Was it Asher?
I have no idea.
Oh my god.
I was
Okay.
unconscious.
Good.
So, no, she did not touch either of us.
Thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, okay, you might already know, I don't know. They put shit in people, and I'm not saying this to be crazy. Someone asked me for medical help like a month, 2 months ago. And I look over some medical reports, I check stuff, whatever. That faceless doctor had gotten to them and was implanting shit in people. Like surveillance type stuff. And I'm not sure how all of it works, but potentially can like affect their nervous system, maybe remotely, which is
That's terrifying.
Yeah, so if no one got touched by that doctor, good.
No,
If she's dead, good.
Yeah. Lang put a
Thank
stop
God.
to that.
Okay.
Thank God.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I'm in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Queenie's still unconscious, and I'm wheeling around, and I've never been one to, I guess not speak my mind, so I'm wheeling past everybody, and I'm calling them out hardcore. I'm like, so, how's it feel to torture your friends and try and kill them after being in the resistance together for absolutely no reason whatsoever, right? So, I quickly became very hated, because I just did that to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I very likely, I've been there.
The only person that I had that conversation with that changed their mind because of it was Tony. I went up to Tony and I was like, oh, I went to Canada, came back, woke up to being tortured, and then somebody put a gun to my head and made me walk into a mine. And these are the people that I've been working with for the past, 2 years, and hate the faceless, or I thought I hated the faceless, and they are doing this because I didn't even decide not to work with the faceless, although fuck the faceless.
Right.
I more so said I'm not joining anything if I see these people treated this way, and they didn't like that. And Tony sat there for a moment and was like, wait a second, I'm actually listening and I'm seeing what you mean. And the next day he joined our, I wouldn't call it a side because we were just not wanting to get tortured or killed by our own people, but that, which I think was really brave of him. He was the only person to do that.
Yeah, he's always been that type.
So then for the next couple, I don't even know how long it was. Just for the next while, it was a lot of getting forced to do manual labor, getting forced to give them a Cleveland military parade or something. I don't know. Just a bunch of
North Korea.
like that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, shit got really, really weird. And then a bunch of them left. So they took over to the prison to the extent that they could leave and come back whenever they wanted. So a bunch of them left to go, I think, find Eliza, because Eliza shot or tried to shoot Tom, and then Harry shot Eliza. So Eliza was at a hospital or something, and they went to get her. And during that time, the police were going to push into the prison because they caught all those people that left. So all these people that were holding down Cleveland got caught. And so they're like, fuck it, there's not many of them, let's go fuck them up. And because of that, Sab, who was known as the big dog in there, the leader of it all, basically relayed the message back to Cleveland to give it all up. So while Sab and all of them were gone, I tried to speak to Andy and talk some sense into her, because I was maybe if she does, maybe she can actually stand on the shit she said if Sab's not here.
Right.
So I was talking to Andy, I was like, are you really gonna stand here and die for what? What is your purpose here? What are you dying for? A group that tortures its own people and works for an enemy that's tried to kill you for ages? And I said, listen, You think Sab's gonna like stand by Cleveland? No, he's gonna flip on the shit instantly. And it was so funny because immediately after that, as all these like 6 people are ready to die for Cleveland, the boys come in and they're like, "Yeah, Big Dog says Cleveland's over." So
Yeah, classic.
then I'm like, great, awesome.
Okay.
So the cops are like, okay, everybody surrender and we'll come in there and take back over the prison. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. I'm already a prisoner of this prison, so perfect. Of course, I'm like, at this point, I guess, sitting in a wheelchair at the front of the prison, Clark standing beside me, and I'm doing what I had been doing for the past few weeks, which was questioning their motives for wanting to torture and kill the people that had stood by them and why they were doing that. And I guess that must have really fucking got under his skin because to this day, they all hate my fucking guts. Yeah.
I will say in past experience, while maybe not as serious as the shit you went through with that, I've had the same thing where the moment you call something out, it's you're the problem. You talk too much. You're only bringing this stuff up because you talk too much. Things like that. And yeah, they'll just say whatever to flip it on you.
I fucking love it. I'm gonna be honest. I love that they sit there every day now thinking about me and I forget they exist.
Yep.
So then after that, the police come in. This is where shit starts getting fucking weird. The police come in.
Huh.
Brian Knight goes, CJ, let me wheel you over here for a moment. I wheel on over. He goes, I want you to know that this is your fault. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? And he goes, Sab and Lang were just abducted by the Faceless. I go, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay.
And he goes, yeah. I'm like, oh, all right, well, then I go into prison. So I'm like, okay, great. I'm now stuck in prison. There's nothing I can do. Lang and Sab are abducted by the Faceless. Splendid. Now
Then you ended up there too.
Yeah, so this point in time, Cleveland's over. Sab and Lang are gone. But it turns out Clark, Luciano, Harry, all those guys that had found some sort of purpose in Cleveland, which was just having a gun and getting to yell at people with power.
Very different from Babylon.
They did not really get the memo of Cleveland being over. So the people that were like injured and hurt are like all just trying to recover in our wheelchairs and whatnot in a corner, like just chatting amongst ourselves. And we find out they like cornered AC in a room and told him he had to pick a side, like either Cleveland or not Cleveland, and then they beat him up.
That's really different from when you first showed up in Cleveland.
So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So then we're like, okay, let's just not give them attention. Like, let's just let them have their little hissy fit and let's just go about our day. So we go to visit Queenie in the ICU and we're like talking to her, checking on her. She's still in the bed because she can't stand. She's really weak.
Right.
We're all huddled around the bed. Harry and Luciano run in, yell something about like, fuck you guys for not being with Cleveland or something, and then throw a Molotov on Queenie's bed and all of us. And then Luciano in the background behind him goes, and then they run out.
Oh my god. So, I mean, are they fucking like cartoon Batman villains? Like, I don't understand. Because let me tell you something too. I don't even know if you saw this, and this is a reason why when I was kicked out of Babylon, which was fine, you know, I just wasn't around that much. You called me and I was like, okay, I understand, you know, like that makes sense. And I'll just go through the process to come back if I want to come back. Right. No issue. But then there's an attack that happens and I get severely injured. I'm fresh out of surgery, still on morphine in a wheelchair. I'm barely talking, barely coherent. I don't even know where I am. Right. Luciano just takes me and wheels me out. He goes, oh yeah, we still have to exile you. And he wheels me into the road in front of Babylon, right outside the gate, just leaves me in the middle of the road. Doesn't tell anyone anything about like that's how he gets me out of there or anything. He just does that. I think only Harry, that's the only one I can remember that saw anything. I don't know. I don't remember. But this fucking Luch guy is like, oh, we got to do this. And then there's a whole bunch of other people. Like, I don't even know who's there. Just like, oh, yeah, this makes sense. They're just,
Because the
they're all
difference
stupid and
between
crazy.
the difference between
That's really all it
Babylon
is.
and Cleveland is you
They
had
do
the
this as a pattern.
opportunity to leave. Please remember that. That was not a prisoner.
I
You were
believe
held
every bit.
prisoner. You were a community member that could leave. Just keep that in mind, please. So I don't have to go through that spiel again. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, I never really thought Luciano was a good guy, but and I want to preface everything like that I've said and I'm about to say with the fact that I gave a fuck about these people to the extent that they were working with me against common enemies. I had no like deep personal relationship with them, so I did not expect that in return. What I took issue with was them making no logical sense in trying to harm people that worked with them so that they could work with the enemy. Made no sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And their whole thing the entire time was saying, you guys betrayed us because you wouldn't fight the police with us, which I, first of all, was never given the choice, but everybody else was very happy to go against the police. You saw that the entire time. They just didn't want to work with their enemy to do it, which I think is very fair. They've literally tortured me. They've tortured other people. Why would we want to work with them? So the people I felt bad for at the time was someone like Queenie, who had this deep personal relationship with them and continuously will turn her back on anyone and everyone as long as she gets to show loyalty and devotion to Luciano and Clark. And they continue to try and hurt her in every way possible. And seeing that was fucked up for me. So
shit, man. Yeah.
I know it is actually really sad. So
yeah.
There we are in the prison. We just got Molotov. We're like, Kate, avoiding them doesn't work either. I really don't know what to do. So I just tried to like kind of hide most of the time and avoid conversations past that point. Cause I mean, there was nothing else I could do. So then Nancy, did you meet Nancy? I forget.
Yeah, I knew Nancy well.
Yeah, so at this point, Nancy and I were close.
Right.
I had grown apart from her because she was a part of Cleveland. She claimed she was doing it to help us, but that was false. She just liked being a part of it. She lies all the time. So
she liked torturing?
I don't think she liked torturing. I think she just didn't give a fuck about anyone except for herself. So
I mean, I see it as complicit. Whether you do it yourself
100%.
or not, if you look the other way, it's the same shit, right?
I agree. If you're actively a part of a group that is torturing your friends, I mean, look in the mirror.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she even knew that they were going to throw that Molotov and didn't say anything. So, yeah.
Oh, man.
That's the kind of friendship I had at the time.
Fuck.
So then Nancy runs up to Skip and I, and she goes, Charlie is, or like the Faceless and Charlie are gonna come in here. You have, what did she say? She said you have two options. Either the Faceless are gonna come in here and kill everyone and take you guys, or you're gonna come willingly. And I was like, kill everyone. Duh. The fuck? I'm not willingly going. Like, kill everybody. Kill all these people that have tortured me and betrayed me for the past month. Yeah, kill them. I don't care.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
Yeah, Nancy picks up the phone and goes, yeah, we'll come willingly. Wow. So, the list of names was myself, Skipper, Nancy, and Queenie. So the faceless fly in a bunch of helicopters, land, and as we're getting loaded into the helicopters, the Cleveland people shoot the helicopters and then explode them.
Oh,
Which blows up Skipper and Nancy.
oh fuck.
So then Queenie and I are trying to give medical to Skip and Nancy, and Cleveland are just, I don't know, they're just shooting everything. The faceless come in and, as they said, carpet bomb the prison, and Cleveland runs and hides inside. And then the faceless show up, force us into the helicopters, and fly us to some fucking island in the middle of buttfuck nowhere where
What?
Lang and Sab are.
Okay.
So now I'm on an island with Nancy, who I want to kill, Skipper, who I'm scared of getting hurt, Lang and Sab, who at the time I wanted to kill Sab as well, actually, because
Right.
he led Cleveland. And we get there, and we get this whole speech about how we have to like put the past behind us so that we can, survive this island, meaning I can't go and kill Nancy. Whatever. And then over the next few weeks, we spend our time essentially being forced at gunpoint to do manual labor, like fixing satellite dishes, moving boxes, testing
Okay.
bombs.
Testing?
Yep, testing bombs,
Oh my god.
making guns for them, making magazines and all this shit for them. Basically all their little dirty work. And we couldn't leave because they put bomb collars on us that would explode if we wouldn't pass a certain point on the island. We got
Jesus
stuck
Christ.
in like this little area. Sometimes they would starve us, sometimes they would shoot us, sometimes they would while we were working, we had to say a name of who did the worst at the job, and then that person would get beat. And then we'd all run behind a truck and they would shoot at us if we were too slow. So then obviously as the day went on and people were getting beat, we tried to even it out so that somebody was we were all able to run fast enough to not get shot. Yeah, I mean that was just traumatic and that was hell, but
Oh my god. How long was that? You were there
I think-
for a while, right?
it felt like 3 years.
Okay.
Eventually we managed to escape through this we essentially stole the tablet that controlled our bomb collars, got rid of them, and then stole a boat and just sailed out of there, shot a bunch of things, made it somehow back to Los Santos. Now
And
the, there was a boat that showed up, and this boat was the Cleveland people. Queenie immediately jumps off the boat. Or, to be fair, there's a storm. We all get flung off the boat. We all get back on. Queenie just swims to their boat and gets on their boat.
Huh.
And we had spent a lot of time talking on this island because we had nothing but time when we weren't doing, the work.
right.
And talking about whether or not she would forgive the people that tried to kill her multiple times, and whether she would forgive them for putting a gun to her head and making her walk into a mine and torturing her friends and throwing a Molotov on her recovering body and laughing about it. And I could tell on the island that she was definitely leaving space so that she could forgive them, but she just kept saying, I can't think about that right now because I need to focus on getting off the island.
Right.
I said essentially, fuck all those people. Anybody that does that, I mean, I'm not fuck that. Nancy, it took me a long time on that island to let go of the anger I had because I truly just had so much hatred for her stabbing me in the back in Cleveland that it took a long, long time. But eventually I let go of the anger and I just thought to myself, okay, if I can look at these other people in Cleveland and just erase them from my mind and not give a fuck about them, I can do that with Nancy, even though she stabbed me in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of same with Sab, although Sab, I mean, at this current point in time, I've just had to accept that Sab is Sab. I really just, I don't think he does things maliciously. I think he just has a randomizer in his brain that just says, well,
yeah, he's unbelievably stupid. And, what do they say? Don't attribute to malice what could be just stupidity, right?
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like, I think he has a dent in his head, kind of stupid. And what can you do about that?
Okay, watch it. So at some point during this whole island thing, Sab gets taken to the mainland here, and he gets, I think, handcuffed to a bomb that blows up a gas station, and he loses, like, all of his limbs. So,
what?
Yeah, now
Wait, is he like...
He was, yeah. Now he has a bunch of prosthetics.
Oh, thank God. Okay. He's not being rolled around like a... Okay.
I think he was at a certain point, though.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's like a head in a trunk.
Yeah, it was bad for him. So...
Gross.
Yeah, it was really weird to see these people that had wanted us dead supposedly trying to save us from the escape. I don't know. But yeah, Queenie got on their ship, we got back, and we kind of just tried to, like get our bearings for a bit. And we met back up with Sab, who was living up north in... You know that little inlet off the highway? If you're going up, like, Sonora? Is that the right one?
Oh, the little, like the thing you go in a little tunnel?
Yeah. So, he was there, and he was like, yeah, I've moved in here. It's my little sanctuary. And by this point in time, I don't know when Queenie met back up with us. I don't know. Queenie, within like hours, was just kind of back, wanting to be with Luciano and Clark and all them. Then we had this moment where we all decided, are we going to stay in this little place, or do you guys want to leave? And what the rules were no bringing martial shit or faceless shit to this. We called it the garden. And everybody stayed except for Queenie, who left. Now, this is when we find out from Sab that Clark, Luciano, and all these people that had tried to kill, tried to torture, tried to cut Lang's hand off, tried to torture Queenie again with a Molotov because they felt they betrayed them for not being willing to work with the Faceless so that they could work against Brian Knight and them, had joined Brian Knight and have started working for him as a militia. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so they worked with the Faceless and then they also worked with the Marshals?
After the Faceless, they worked with the Marshals because the Faceless are so evil and they need to be stopped.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Now, there's a few different theories here. I think they claim that they were doing it in order to get help saving us. That's bullshit. Even after we were back, they were still doing it. They also don't give a single fuck about most of us. I think they give a fuck about Lang, maybe Sab.
Right.
The other theory is that they just wanted to get out of jail, and the only way they could do that and not have to serve time for everything they did was to just get a gun and pledge their allegiance to the marshals and do their bidding. So now you've got faceless and the faceless assets running around the streets, enacting violence, doing their little secretive shit. Then you have the marshals and their grunts, their assets, which was like Clark, Luch, Queenie joined them. Andy, Clevin, all those people working for them and going after the assets. So it turned into a civil war, which is what's currently happening now. Now, we up at the garden were perfectly fine. We were happy. We were making soup. We started Doomsday Soups, where I made soup with vegetables we grew, and we'd hand it out to the city every day for free to feed the city. Okay? That's when the Clark, Luciano, Queenie, and all of them, and the besties. So the besties also joined the marshals. So a combination of the besties and the Cleveland started putting roadblocks and checkpoints up outside of our house at Polito. So Lang saw this, that he got pressed every time he would drive out of our place, and he didn't like that at all. So we did throw a grenade at the blockade. So because we did that, I would assume this is in retaliation. Lang, Clark, and Queenie and all of them went into the garden and burnt it all down. It was really beautiful. It was something we got a bunch of like trees and grass, and it was so pretty. But they burnt it down. Right. So, you know, we lost that. And so we moved up to the pier, and now we've continued making Doomsday Soup, but now we make chowder because now instead of having our beautiful garden, we just have the ocean. Oh
my God.
Now, Lang called them and essentially said, you have 24 hours to get the fuck out of Polito, essentially to stop working for the marshals. And they all instantly folded the next day. So Clark, Luciano, Andy, Clevin, all of them, Queenie, they all gave up working for the marshals and being up in Polito, and then just moved, I guess, potentially in with Speedy up at the beach.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was Speedy. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Speedy. I think he was playing all sides and wanted to open a casino. Right?
Very surprising. Okay.
So that's where things were. That's where things were left off, and everything was fine. We were making soup. They were on the beach doing God knows what. Speedy wanted to open a casino, and the besties were still doing their little militia shit up in Polito. Then, what the fuck?
You good?
Yeah, I forgot I was doing soup deliveries. Then oh yeah. Today we are gonna get on Speedy's boat because he had like a yacht thing that he was advertising. And when we go to get on it, we look over and the besties are on the boat holding up Speedy, Clark, Luciano, Queenie, all of them. And we're like, what the fuck is happening? Aren't you guys on the same side, which is the Marshall side? But I guess something happened with Speedy. I don't know what. And now he's in the ICU.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what's happening on their end. And then the faces, they just keep blowing shit up. They release videos with like bangers. And Harry works for the Faceless.
What?
Yeah.
Where you just went on a solo mission, you just went in there?
Sometimes I think it's like a Speedy thing.
I mean, yeah, no, I get you. He probably has something going on in his head.
To be in a position where you can manipulate
Yeah.
it.
Yep. I mean, he always did what he could. They're both like that very much. A lot of people
Yeah.
are like that, to be fair. It's not just them. But yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Okay.
So right now it's Nancy, Tony, Bjorn, Skipper, Lang, Sab, and myself that are the third party in all of this that aren't either
Right.
the marshals or the assets.
Okay, and you're just trying to stay chill,
We just make
and
soup,
they just
yeah.
keep
We just
they
make
keep
soup.
fucking with you, kind of thing, at most.
I think right now the only people we'd have attack us is likely the besties. Outside of that, I think we'd probably be fine.
Thank God, dude. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. It just sounds so messy. Like my experience in all this has been I come out of my basement when I can. I show up somebody who's like not involved in that stuff. Someone who's like a third party calls me and is like, "Oh my God, you're awake. Let me fill you in on some bullshit you don't care about the city." And they start telling me things and I don't know who's who. They mentioned 8 names I don't know. And they're like, "Oh yeah, and like some of your friends are in jail. Oh yeah, and some of your friends are like kidnapped. Oh yeah." And I just keep hearing shit like this. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Right. And I don't want to hear it from people who are like not involved. Um, but every now and then I would hear from someone, and actually one of the people who did call me occasionally to try and fill me in was Nancy, but she would always say stuff like really cryptically. And so I would just go, okay.
I wish
Right.
we could do that.
It's like hard to garner anything real about that, So I just went, okay, well, good luck. That sounds so crazy. You know what I mean? Because it's just, can you even do, man? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's like the full catch up on I guess the state of
Yeah.
Los Santos right now, but what it boils down to is the city's a mess. Everything's shit,
Yeah.
and it's gonna probably end.